What are the mistakes young entrepreneurs make? The absence of experience and mastery blended with incredible excitement and enthusiasm to accomplish huge successes quicker once in a while prompts exceptional outcomes. In any case, by and large, such a blend is essential for wastefulness and expensive slip-ups. First-time business people are the distinctive case of such a result. A tremendous bundle of oversights brought down inspiration and poor outcomes. Beginning a business at a youthful age is at the same time energizing and testing. The awful news is blundered or inevitable, making slip-ups as intrinsic in every individual. The uplifting news, you can get arranged so as to make less of them. Mistake number 1. For a considerable length of time, our childhood has been benefiting from the wrong sort of data and tuning into the wrong individuals. For instance, our childhood is as yet tuning into the equivalent, old, tired mantra, go to class, think about hard my child or my little girl and go with high evaluations, ideally NA, so as to find a new line of work in a huge association and resign on benefits for an incredible remainder. Our organizations and our general public areas yet setting up our childhood for occupations that don't exist. Amusingly, and understudies are working for C understudies crosswise over numerous verticals, and the courses they attempt at schools or colleges are now out of date when they graduate. Furthermore, since it takes about 10 years for colleges to change their educational modules, the industry is constantly in front of the scholarly world by about 10 years. Along these lines, our childhood should in any case experience re-preparing, even subsequent to landing that desired position. Besides, the employment is progressively ending up rare and profoundly focused, as associations move their activities into robotization mode to spare expenses and time. Numerous associations are conveying robots in sequential construction systems to computerize employments that were recently done by people. The rare sorts of people who figure out how to land positions must drudge for a considerable length of time before they get an advancement and a pay raise, since they've marked a coupling contract to work faithfully for quite a long time before they get that desired advancement, and for the remainder of their human lives so as to get an annuity with the goal that they resign when they're old. Mistake number 2. This pushes our childhood into a condition of edginess and the far-fetched profession of business enterprise is the second choice. However, since they have no formal instruction in an enterprise, they are bombing pitiably and accusing the framework or the administration of not giving enough employment. At that point, our young business visionaries commit the second most noteworthy error. They get into enterprise without trying to instruct themselves in business. This prompts one disappointment after another, distress, disillusionment and dejection coming about in business disappointment as well as disappointment in life too. Mistake number 3. The third and greatest misstep is that our young business visionaries at last surrender and return into work in the wake of coming up short a couple of times in business as opposed to driving forward and hanging tight for their reward, which is practically around the bend. They neglect to understand that employees are made by business visionaries simply like them, who persisted for quite a long time to seek after a fantasy of controlling their lives and getting a charge out of monetary opportunity, rather than working for their entire lives in an abhorrent 9-to-5 crush to make another person rich. They neglect to understand that the fewer business visionaries we have, the less the occupations accessible, and the less the work openings. They neglect to understand that there are unmistakably more business open doors than there is employment. They neglect to understand that when they find a new line of work, they're really exchanging their valuable time with the regularly scheduled check they get from the business, in this way denying themselves of the numerous hours they would have used to put resources into themselves, their families and their locale.